and welcome to my channel FaxaKnits. My name is Sarah and I am a knitter based in Germany. So in this episode of my project vlogs, I will show you how I make my get-together wrap by Rochi Locatelli. Chapter 1 of this video is the idea behind the project. And as you can see, I made this little sketch here with some colored pencils, and I made up my mind how to place the colors and which colors to use, which was quite easy because I will use leftover yarn. Maybe you remember my Bohus Revival shorty top that I showed in my shorty video in my What Happened Before series. And from this top I have quite a lot of yarn left over, and I decided to use this up by knitting my get-together wrap. For this wrap I will use the suggested needle size, which is needle size 3.5, and as said, the leftovers, and I will do some modifications. First, the pattern recommends using 6 contrast colors, which will be placed here and mirrored on the other edge, but the paper's too short. So I will reduce this, and instead of 6 contrast colors, I will only use 5 contrast colors. And the second modification that I want to do is that I will knit both parts of the wrap at the same time. The pattern says to start on this edge, knit up to the center point, and then put everything on hold. And then to start on the other edge, do the exact same thing again, and then to connect. But I don't want to do this. I would like to start both halves of the wrap at the same time, knit them up the same time, and then connect. I hope to prevent this, let's say the second sock syndrome, but not with the sock, but with the wrap, or the second sleeve syndrome. I think a lot of us know the problem. And by knitting them both at the same time, I can also prevent the problem of running out of yarn, because I will cake up the yarn left over that I have, and I will pull out from both ends of the cake so I can be sure to have the same amount on both parts of the wrap. So in case I will run out of yarn, both parts of the wrap will be the same amount shorter. Other than that, no modifications. So that's it for the idea. Let's see how it works. Chapter 2, which is talking about material. As you can see, this is the yarn that I am planning to use on my get-together wrap, and I will also need the needle size 3.5, which is the suggested needle size for the pattern. This yarn is a leftover yarn that I have left from another project. From this black, I have an awful amount left. This is so much. I have no idea what to do with it, but I think I will use up some skeins for the wrap. And these contrast colors are only tiny leftovers. This green one is so tiny that I'm a little bit afraid of running out of yarn, but we will see. The yarn is over dyed. For the Bohus project, I used the yarn in solo color, but for the get-together wrap, I decided to over dye the yarn. First, because I wanted the main colors, 2 main colors, to be black and dark gray. And black I have, but I did not have gray. So I decided to grab the, was some kind of clay light brown color. which formerly was this one. But now, as you can see, it is a variegation of light gray, dark gray, and a little bit of this blue and green, so everything will be cohesive at the end. I'll bring it up close, so hopefully you can see the color variation. And then I have 5 contrast colors, the tiny one, and then the normal ones. These are all 50 gram skeins. And as you can see, for these ones, it's very light. And for this one, for example, it's a little darker variegation to make everything a little bit more interesting. So I hope that I will have enough yarn. I decided to cake the yarn to be able to pull out the strands from both sides of the cake to knit the pieces of the wrap at the same time. But I think it will be more clear when I show you during the process of knitting. The yarn base is the Nature Base by Hobby. It's a little blurry, I fear. I will insert some photos also. Hopefully you can see. I ordered this from Hobby for my Bofus project. It is a very light fingering weight yarn, as you can see, 50 gram, 230 meters. But I think it will suit the purpose very nice. So that's it for the material, and we will see us again in the process. Chapter 3, the process. As you can see, I have made a lot of progress since we last met. This is because it is surprisingly how fast this is flying over your needles. I knitted this in, let's say, 2 weeks. And in between those 2 weeks, there was Christmas and there was New Year. And now it's January, and I thought, okay, I have to take an update because otherwise the wrap will be finished, and I did not want to do this. So as you can see, the colors are quite nice together. I was a bit skeptical about this dark blue. I was afraid that the dark blue would interrupt everything, and I thought about skipping the blue so that the wrap would have looked something like this. Maybe you can imagine. I think that would have been also nice, but quite short. So I already decided to do 5 instead of 6 contrast colors. And by skipping the blue again, it would be 4 instead of 6. So I was a bit skeptical, and I decided to do the blue. So here it is. And I think it's okay. The blue is an absolute eye-catcher in this shawl because the color is the one that is the most vibrant, and I'm okay with it. I was a long time very skeptical, but now I am happy and I am satisfied with this. I am at the point where I have to repeat this gray and black stripes a few more times. And after that, I will connect the 2 pieces and knit those triangles to finish the wrap. But this is for future Sarah. Now we are on this part. And as you can tell, I decided to knit both of the wrap parts at the same time, as I mentioned earlier. but I stopped doing this at this point where I started the gray and black stripes. And this is because knitting them at the same time was only to prevent me from running out of yarn in these contrast color sections. And in this part, I would have had to, roll with 4 balls of yarn and always twist them and turn them around and turn the wrap pieces around. And that is too much for me on the couch in the evening. And so I decided to change the way and work this one with the stripes, and after that, this one with the stripes. And this is one of the final steps, so I think I will be fine. By looking at everything, I feel like this is quite small and narrow compared to my hands, and I have quite normal women's hands, so this is not too big. But by stretching it, I can get an idea of how big this will block out after knitting. And so I'm not too worried about the size of the shawl. Also, other than skipping one of the contrast color sections, I did everything exactly to pattern, and I also meet the gauge. So I think everything will be fine. Everything will block out. I managed to do the first half of my connection between the two halves of my get together wrap, and it was surprisingly simple to do. You can see I used a stitch marker to connect both of the pieces together, and then I put a spare needle on one half and another needle on this half, which is gone because I knitted the entire triangle that is needed to connect the shawl pieces. And so the first half of the work is done. The second half is on the go. I think I will do this today. Maybe, hopefully, I will do this today. And yeah, I'm surprised how simple and fast everything went on. I am finally done with my Get Together wrap by Rory Locatelli. And as you can see, I blocked it, I washed it, and today I took it off the blocking mats, and this is how it looks. It has grown a significant amount. I was surprised that it grew so much. And I think this is best visible on the pictures that I took on the blocking mats before blocking and after blocking. And especially the lace came out very, very beautifully. Even the black parts show very nice. I think for the most part, black yarn does not show structures like cables or lace too good, but for this, I really like how the lace shows, and yeah, I am really happy with the outcome of my get together wrap. And I think due to the fact that it is January and it is very cold, I think I will have the opportunity to wear this a lot of times. And yeah, that's it. I'm really happy. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I did. Please let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions or feedback for me. And I wish you all a peaceful time, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye!